Your attention is their currency, and you're handing it over for free. Do you good, Maverick here? Welcome to podcast episode number 135. Thought I'd make an episode about, basically the concept of attention as a form of currency. Now, this might be a little bit inaccurate, but there's a lot of truth to it, because in many ways we are kind of living in an attention economy these days. So that your attention is their currency and you're handing it over for free. Then I'm mainly talking about things like, content, social media. When you are spending hours scrolling through social media, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, even surfing the internet, and even things like Netflix and TV as well, consuming content. For many big businesses, those that owns the networks, those that are owning the big social media networks, attention is in many ways a kind of currency, because the longer they can get people to stay on those platforms, the more time they can get people to spend there, the more likely they are able to profit from it, by getting your data and selling ads, things like that. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. My tablet just fell down. But yeah, that attention is a form of currency for those big companies. In many ways, it kind of is. But also, you don't have to be a multi-billion-dollar social media company in order to kind of profit off of attention. Because in this kind of attention economy that we are living in, it is very often the case that if you can garner attention, there is a multitude of ways you can monetize it and profit from it. Years ago, Kevin Kelly wrote a brilliant essay called 1000 True Fans. And in it, he basically explained that in order to make a living as a creator, you don't have to have millions of fans. All you need is 1000 true fans, and you can make a living online, or as a creator or artist in the examples that he took in that essay. It also applies to a lot of other things. And how do you get those 1000 true fans? Well, in this day and age, it's oftentimes through content that people are getting it. Content can content can lead to cash. If you're creating and posting content online and you're doing it consistently over a period of time, chances are you are going to build an audience and a following. And when you do, there's oftentimes a lot of ways you can monetize it. If you have an audience of people that follow you, Kevin Kelly might call it true fans, people that will buy a lot. But if you build if you focus on building know, like, and trust, that you're providing value for people, to get them to know you, like you, and trust you. If you can do that, yeah, there's a lot of ways you can monetize it. Yeah, when it comes to being a consumer these days, a lot of people they get the concept. Yeah, you should not only be a consumer, you should be a producer. You should produce more than you consume. So you should produce more value and earn more money than you are spending. You should not be spending more money than you earn. Things like that. But in this day and age, I think that concept applies a lot to content as well, and attention. So when it comes to social media, a lot of people talk about how bad it is, and in many ways it is. But but there's also good things about it. It's not only crap on social media. There is a lot of good things as well. And there definitely is a lot of opportunities. So instead of using your smartphone as a way to waste hours every day, I think the average now, there's a bunch of different statistics on it. It depends on which one you look at. But I think the average these days is like somewhere between 3 to 8 hours a day that people spend on average just scrolling through their smartphones. So instead of just scrolling through your smartphone, scrolling through social media, surfing the web, and wasting time consuming content, maybe you should produce content instead. Building a personal brand is gaining popularity these days. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions around it because they think you have to become some kind of what is it called in English? Pink blogger. There's a lot of ways to be what you might call an influencer or having a personal brand. There's even people doing it without showing their face, you know. Content can lead to cash. Yeah, just thought I'd jump on and give that little piece of advice. I'm not an expert at it at all. But looking back, you know, on all the mistakes I made over the years when trying to make money online and different entrepreneurial ventures, things like that. One of the things that I regret not doing and starting years ago was creating and posting content. It might make you look silly, especially in the beginning when you probably suck at it. But what do you want? You know, if you have the choice of looking like a really smart person that almost never makes a fool out of yourself, so to speak, you never look foolish, you never look stupid, you look very smart, but you are trapped in the matrix of the 9 to 5 rat race. You're trapped inside a job you don't really like. Maybe you even find yourself buying things you don't need to impress people you don't like. You're finding yourself kind of like on a financial treadmill. It's like you're treading water financially, barely keeping yourself afloat. Maybe that's the situation you find yourself in. Maybe. If so, what would you choose between that scenario? But you looked really smart to other people. Other people thought you were really smart. Would you choose that, or would you choose to create and post content online, get a bunch of hate, look foolish, look like an amateur, sound stupid from time to time, but you were actually creating valuable content where people, if they applied it, it could make a positive difference in their lives. Maybe your delivery was bad, but a lot of the advice was actually good. Maybe you were documenting your own journey on things you were learning, things you tried to do, how you went about building your online business, things like that. So you are providing value you are providing value to people through the content, but you oftentimes looked like a fool. But after a while, you became successful, and let's say in this kind of thought experiment or hypothetical scenario, you ended up making 10 times as much money as you did when you were trapped in a job or in the rat race. Would you do it? Would you choose to look like a fool sometimes, or to look like an amateur? for at least a period while posting content online, if it could result in making like 5-10 times as much as you currently are. Of course, there's no guarantee of that, but a lot of people have been doing it. So what would you choose? You know, the thing is that oftentimes we have to look stupid to do something smart. Or oftentimes the way to do something smart is to look stupid, at least for a period. And why should we let the opinion of others dictate what you do? Yeah, if your attention is their currency, why are you giving it away for free, and why are you not creating and posting content? Something to think about. You know, when it comes to building a personal brand, I could talk about that for probably hours. I'm absolutely not an expert at it, but it's really fascinating to see what's going on these days. There's a lot of different ways people are doing it. Even billionaires these days seem to be focusing on their personal brand. When you look at a lot of the things that, for example, Elon Musk, what he does, it seems to me that his personal brand is actually a massive part of his whole business. The way he's promoting things. And why did he buy Twitter and turn it into X? Maybe his personal brand is a part of that reason. Who knows? Anyways, by the way, if you have not yet checked out communitycashcows.com, I highly advise you to check it out. If you want to build your own cash cow business, maybe you should build a paid community, a community cash cow. I'm in the process of interviewing at least 30 success stories of people that are running a paid community and making at least $10,000 in profit per month. And a fascinating thing is that so far I've not interviewed, at the time of this recording, I have not interviewed all 30 yet, but even this far, I've interviewed a bunch of them, and several of them, the way they built their paid community was basically through content. You know, I mean, the way they promoted it and got members was through creating and posting content on social media. I interviewed a lady last night, and the way she built her paid community, she mainly promoted it through TikTok and Instagram and got members. Might be something to consider. Anyways, I'm absolutely not an expert at it. So if you want to learn from those real life success stories, just go to communitycashcows.com. God bless.